just come up with thoughts on your own and actually think about things. Like one of the ways that I came up with my own beliefs and I found myself is just being around
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big podcast. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves so you guys can too. We don't gotta keep saying it. Remember, like and subscribe for more. Comment down below what you want to hear us talking about. What are we talking about today, boys? What are we talking about? I'll tell you what we're talking about. Beliefs! The mind. The mind is everything. Why are we talking about beliefs? We'll get into that. But first, I want to touch on how beliefs are even formed in the first place.
You want to touch up, or is Mike touching up?
Mike can touch up on it.
I'm gonna do it,
I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, we have another guest. We have another guest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say hi.
Alright, so how beliefs are formed. Alright, so what am I talking about?
Oh, he should not have let
No, so why beliefs are formed, or no, how beliefs are formed. So fuck this.
Why don't we start by
Obviously,
I'm not good at starting it off. I'm not.
Dude, obviously everything starts from subconscious mind. What the environment that you grew up in or you were around for a long time is the habits that you develop. It's the mindset you develop. Therefore, the thoughts come in, and then thoughts lead up to actions, and then actions lead up to habits and all that kind of stuff. So,
You know what I think we should delve into? I think everyone knows that most of our beliefs are formed from childhood and from parenting and from that. But I think we should transition to how beliefs are formed in terms of like what does it take to change your belief of a certain situation after childhood?
how do we take control over those beliefs that we grew up with?
Yes.
I would say experience.
But how beliefs are formed, that's what we're talking about, not experience.
Well, how they're formed
experience.
is
You're right.
How do we change
Fucking
it?
idiot.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Fucking idiot.
Cook.
Like I was saying, experience. I think the biggest influence or the biggest factor as to where the belief actually comes from is your personal experience. You can be influenced, all this, all that, but until you personally witness it or you personally hear about it, that's when you form your own true belief. So I think it's a good idea that everyone just puts themselves out there in these types of like uncomfortable situations where they don't really know, like things that they only heard about, but so things that they can actually see for themselves, so they get a better understanding, just become a more well-rounded person in general. But
you're right.
yes, thank you.
I think one great example, especially in America, is we're taught that other countries are. They never really said other countries are bad, but we have this connotation they are because we live in America. So I think it's always great to get out of your environment and to check out, especially what I hear from my father is in Russia they told him that America's bad, and then until my dad actually lived here and saw it, he realized this place is actually great.
They just say that to like kind of like manipulate their society.
Exactly. The schools will always portray their country as
schools.
Why would they want their own
big
people to leave their
influence,
own country? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
less
Of course,
workers,
they
the
want people
economy's
to
gonna
stay
go
there.
down.
You
Yeah.
have to understand.
That's what I was saying. Why are females teaching?
That's fucked up.
No, wait, hold on. I fucking said that wrong. Take that shit out, alright?
I'm keeping it in.
We're not taking
I'm
this out.
keeping it in. I'm so keeping it in.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's over.
We're not taking that out.
Wait,
So-
why was that a thought?
Alright, so
Where did that thought come from?
Education, right? We go through
What are you
fucking
doing?
12 grades, even college, right? And men are being taught by women and mostly women and not men. I'm not saying fucking women are bad teachers. That's not what I meant.
What the fuck? Where are you going with this?
So I'm saying
I
how,
think
like,
he's going the right way.
when women, this is gonna sound, this is
It's all right.
sexist.
Dude, say what you think. Be authentic.
So like so we're in this education system, they teach things. But if a woman's teaching you first how's a man teaching, they're probably teaching in two different ways. I mean, a woman is probably more patient and more soft. That's because that's what the female
Feminine.
That's what feminine roles do.
Estrogen is.
And if a masculine man or whatever is teaching, he's more strict. He's more
Straight up.
He's more straight up. So it's like those types of things you gotta kind of look out for. I'm not saying all female teachers are bad. No female teachers are bad. I mean, I'm sure I've had plenty of good experiences with good women teachers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Bro tried everything to just go.
I try to like.
I think a better way to phrase that is that the teachers are rather inexperienced in whatever they're teaching. Like as far as like entrepreneurship and colleges that offer up that type of course, it's going to be taught by a teacher, not by a woman, a teacher that has never actually been in entrepreneurship themselves. Therefore, it's kind of a shitty management. But regardless, if you're interested in teaching, Go check out one of our previous episodes, guys.
Yeah, but the certain,
No,
like,
but I think what he was trying to connect to is the whole masculine thing, right?
yeah.
Like a man teacher, a man mentor, teaching a man with the core values of a man can never be taught as good as from a woman, because a woman doesn't really know what it takes to be a man doesn't really know what it takes to be a woman.
Yeah.
Therefore, when a man teaches a man about masculinity and how to be strong man, how to be a good man, how to do your duty as a man, a woman won't do as good, because man already has the experience to be a man.
My question is, how is this connected to belief?
Yeah.
This connects into what influences you to think certain things. So what he said, if a masculine man is teaching you, you're going to think more masculine, versus if a woman teaches you something, you're going to think more feminine.
Where you grew up.
Where you grew up, and now, yeah, you come up with your beliefs. Like, you see the world in more of a, you want, like, if a masculine man is teaching you, you're going to see the world in more of, like, a competitive environment, where if a woman's teaching you, you're going to see the world in more of a,
Positive.
more of like a,
And you're agreeable. You're more agreeable and soft and easygoing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, though. Like, you know what I mean?
But
When
to
I-
what extent?
I came off like really, really aggressive.
I'm,
still
I'm
debating
making
his
a
point,
clip
though.
out of that first part.
But to an
and I'm
extent,
putting
though,
it.
yeah,
I'm not
that's
even
right.
sending it in the group chat. I'm just posting on all the social media so you can't even see.
So when I don't
You're
do
nobody,
thoughts, question mark?
you're nobody. You want to be entertained.
Yeah. We'll get it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. All right, well, back onto the topic. As far as the whole beliefs thing go,
So I have like a list of things that can kind of shape your beliefs in today's society. So society in general, right? It's social media influencers, education, music, content, any type of content, news, the environment, your friends. All these things influence you. They're all factors of how you turn out to be. You might not realize it, but most of your beliefs really don't come from you.
Yeah.
People got to
That's a
realize
good
that.
point.
Like, people
That's
think like
true.
they make up their own thoughts in their head. No, but those are the thoughts of other people that they are influenced by.
Planted.
They're planted in
My
there.
question, what you just listed, how does music infiltrate?
I'm glad that you said that, because
Me too.
because rap music, if you're listening to a bunch of fucking guys talking about some bitches on his dick, right, or getting money, or just like drug
Drugs,
dealing,
yeah.
that shit's going in your fucking ear all the time, nonstop, all day, whatever. If you're listening to it in the gym, that shit is not motivating. It's those words are negative. You can't deny that. Those whole things is painted by a negative
But
thing.
how does that?
Because when
Because
you
I
hear
do
that-
listen to rap music, but I'm not like
But
that. I
that's
don't
your
want to be a
mood,
drug dealer.
no? Isn't that influence your mood?
music
rather
is
than-
energy, and we know that. So when
Yeah.
when you listen to that type of energy, that energy is going to influence you into forming
Into
those types of
becoming a
beliefs.
negative person.
That I listen to rap, so I'm hard as fuck, and I should go molest a woman on the streets, like that type of shit.
Facts.
You would be the type of person. To say
That's
that.
not facts, but
Yeah, he's trying to save himself.
this guy,
I have no clue.
that's crazy.
No, well, real quick, I was wait.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Yeah. And I also want to touch on, in case people are wondering, like, why is this even important? Why are your beliefs important in the first place? If you don't have your own beliefs, and if you have if the inability to form your own beliefs, doesn't even make you a fucking person. You're just like a copycat who
A robot.
That's you're like a robot. You don't even have. You're not even fucking human in
It's
my
like-
eyes. You're living someone else's life. Like whoever's beliefs you're formed on, it might be different between this person and that. Whoever influenced you, you're living their life. You're not even living your own. Your beliefs are what make you who you are.
I have a bold take.
Yeah.
The people that are extremely indecisive and say you're right, despite you contradicting what they're saying, and they can't ever stick to say, I don't think they're real. That's my bold take.
They're like cucks.
I don't.
That's
I
what
don't
they're
think.
like. Think of it. They're like cucks.
I don't even think
Especially
being
men.
real is the right word. It just
they're so open-minded that it's like they just believe anything that you tell them, or what?
there are a few people that we know, and I don't know if a name comes up to your mind, but
Okay.
I know a couple that just like, oh, you're right. So for example, they say, I believe in God, and you say I don't believe in God. You're like, oh, you're right.
That's
You know,
funny.
people that just say shit,
Well, those
but don't
people are-
stick to it. I would much rather have a friend that sticks and is passionate on one certain thing. because
With conviction.
That's who you are. It's what makes you a different human being.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course we all look different, but what actually makes us different? To me, I think it's our beliefs and how we're all different.
Yeah.
If you can't forge any belief, if you can't decide on one, and I'm not saying you shouldn't decide on everyone. You should be always open-minded, but you should at least stick to one and fight for it until you realize a different path. I think people don't even fight for it. They're just like, no, you're right.
That's because of the education, bro. They literally they hold your fucking hand.
beliefs.
The education holds your hand, and they're like, oh, like we all learn the same subjects. Everyone learns the same subject. No one gets to be creative. Everyone learns the same thing, and you come out miserable. You don't know what to do with your life because they don't show anything. I fucking hate the education system. I hate it so much. The education system. This guy.
He's trying to frame you, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna get back at some point, alright? So, but this thing is like education really like they really like dim down the creativeness and that really like it kind of doesn't let you create your own beliefs. Doesn't let you create thoughts because it thinks for you. It all thinks for you. It holds your hand. That's why people end up like that.
Yo, look at it from this perspective. If
Be a
those
robot.
people don't realize that much, teachers who influence you, how are they able to show you that you have to be creative? You have to think outside the box. If they thought outside the box, they probably wouldn't be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's not for all teachers because there are teachers that really love what they do. But if they don't know how to tell you to be creative, how to form your own opinion on things, because they're also brainwashed, how are they going to tell you things? So look at it from that perspective than just bashing on the education system and stuff. Even though you have to point out the truth, with which I agree, but also look at it from a perspective that there's not much that they can do because that's what they believe. Same with what you're talking about. That's how they grew up. That's like who they surround themselves with because they also went to schools. That's just how they grew up.
Yeah, I get that. Something I want to touch up on is how we can get the people watching to really form their own beliefs if they are struggling with that. And what I want to comment on
It's
that
very
is,
simple matter.
I think you just get out there is what
I think before that we should
Question
definitely
everything.
cover like in the self-improvement niche in general. Like we have these male influencers. Like influencers takes a big part in young men.
absolutely.
Like Andrew Tate. We just did a podcast on him. People like they watch his content and instantly they think they have to start doing the hand signs. They think they have to start thinking like him. They just think like since he did this, we have to think like him. Just
Or we
because
have to talk like him.
we have to talk like him. We have to get what he gets. That's the end goal. That's influence. That's your beliefs are being.
That's a
influenced.
blind influence
Uh-huh.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my eyes on that is who, like, out of that audience, who's typically the one that does exactly, like, make the hand signs and just get influenced and everything? It's likely the younger people. Not
Yeah,
likely.
the young
It
generation.
is. I can say that with full-heartedly belief.
Us and
It is
younger,
the
pretty much.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
even a little bit
And
older.
why do you think that is? A big part of it is probably because they're not experiencing this shit enough. Like, you need to get in the game. You need to get out there. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations where you learn better, where you force yourself to grow. That's what they really need.
Become
There's a
your own
reason
self.
why, there's a reason why these young people are hardly, like, they just believe and they talk about whatever, they do whatever, that isn't even theirs, that they just see on the internet because they want to look cool for someone else. They're practically victims.
They're
living.
indecisive.
They're indecisive. They don't know themselves well enough. But that's why sometimes male influencers target a younger audience, which I hate so much because I think protecting the youth and making sure that they grow educated, like as much as you with your passion about the education system and how much you love it. I think
How
the
much I
youth.
fucking hate it.
No, you love it, and the youth is just so important. But that's my thing. But I think what I'm trying to leave off with is the fact that because they're young and they're inexperienced, that's why they kind of fall off in their own beliefs. I think experience is a big factor.
Yeah.
Well, because they're always on social media. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if you have a phone in your face all the time, what's coming from it is who you're going to turn out to be. Because then those are the only thoughts going into your brain is the thing that's on the phone. So nothing is creating in your mind. It's all thoughts that are being propagated into your brain.
Yeah, I have a word of advice, which is when you see something, I think a lot of our beliefs are forged that we don't. Here's the thing. I think most of our beliefs, if anything, is because we believe someone is more credible than us, so therefore we should just believe in them, because if we don't know anything on the matter, why should we make our own opinion when there is somebody else that, if you're famous on if your videos are showing up on a feed, you probably have credibility. Let's be honest. So you just believe them.
What the
No.
fuck?
But credibility is
No.
just status.
Dude,
At
you
the end
can
of the
think
day,
everything like
okay,
that. What
okay.
the hell? Don't ever believe
If
that.
there is a doctor, right, on TikTok, and he speaks on a matter of how to have a healthier heart, are you going to listen to what you believe on a healthier heart or him?
I'm not gonna. I'm
If
not.
he has
I'm sure
100,000.
I'm not listening, dude.
Well, a lot
Most
of
people will
will.
listen to the
Okay,
doctor.
you may not.
If I
But
know
a
for
lot
a
of
certain
people-
fact that he's 100% a real doctor, Sure, but you shouldn't listen to someone that looks like a doctor and says they're a doctor.
Let's say he is,
Just-
okay?
Okay.
Let's say he is.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
You can kind of know who's a real doctor talking about heart.
It's hard. It's getting hard nowadays.
Well, a lot of people can't tell, and if they can't tell, they'll
It
just
is.
listen to false misinformation. My word of advice: if you see something, you're like, "Ooh, that sounds right," double
Try it.
check it.
Yeah,
Double
do your
check
own
it.
research.
I would say
I was
try it.
If you say,
actually-
if you say
Yeah.
somebody say this is how you get better, less knee pain, rather than just saying, "Oh yeah," and then start recommending it to people just because you heard it from this one video. At least just search it up on Google. If you can't find anything, okay. But you taking 5 seconds out of your fucking time to see if it's real or not should be a priority before you start sharing this information to others. Especially when it comes to rumors, social media,
yeah.
things like
Is
that.
that what you were going with when you said question everything earlier?
The matter, I think, to figure out what our true beliefs are, you have to question everything. If you don't, I mean, I can go right on my title thing if you want, but I mean, we're all born with titles.
No, it's unnecessary. No one wants to hear that.
I think another thing is when you listen to somebody that's credible, just take their advice, try it. You know,
Be open-minded,
obviously
just
don't
be open-minded.
be open-minded and try it. If it doesn't work for you, then you know, mix something with your own way. You know what I mean? Take their advice, but also put something of your own. You know what I mean? If you don't see their tactic work, mix something with yours. Mix something with what somebody else said. You know what I mean? So by doing that, you're literally forming a new idea based on that core belief that they just provided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
Yeah, and why this is so important though is because people are not like themselves. People act like other people. People like if you really want to grow, you really have to like find out who you are, and then kind of be open-minded to learn. Be a student. You know what I mean? That's like where beliefs, like a lot of stuff come from, like what you consume, whatever, what you learn. Like I like the student mind, like this being a student everywhere you go. You can always learn something from everyone. You know what I mean? But it also means you got to be careful with also what you consume, because you could see something like when I brought up Andrew Tate, like what he talks about competitiveness, like is about like masculine men. Like I think that's good. I think that's good for the youth. And I don't think I'm being biased. Am I being biased?
No.
No. So like I think that's good. Just because being competitive in this world can benefit you. That's why some beliefs can benefit you and some cannot. So like when he's talking about like what's something that he said that kind of people believe but they don't. It's not really like. Can you think of something or no?
What? Can you
That
ask again?
people,
Like something that he said, but it's just like people only believe it because he said it.
Honor your ancestors. No,
Yeah,
just-
fuck off.
we'll call it your Bugatti.
Yeah, whatever.
Or
So
Bugatti. Let's say that.
in order to form your own beliefs, I think the most important thing that I've done personally is seek isolation. Be by yourself, in a room, no input, no nothing. Just be by yourself and just come up with thoughts on your own and actually think about things. Like that's one of the ways that I came up with my own beliefs, and I found myself is just being around no one but myself.
I think I know the answer to what you asked.
I can share my personal
What?
way.
My bad.
Let me
Yeah.
share. Oh, you wanna?
I was just
There you
going to
go.
answer his question. It's just short. I think when he says that if you act like me, right, or do things or talk like me, or even put hands like this and say the words that I use, or even use the words like I get hosed and all this stuff, I feel like people think that just because they talk like Andrew Tate, they're going to get hosed, they're going to be like him. That's just a fake bullshit, because you actually have to build yourself to be like him first.
Yeah.
So that that way you get whatever you want, just like how he gets whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a good point.
What personally helped for me was I spent 3 days, I believe. 3 days. I typically listen to music when I work out. I spent 3 days, no music, no nothing, just working out. And in between sets, or even possibly when I was doing the sets, preferably not because I like to lock in, I was simply just trying to figure out my purpose. I think that'll help a lot. Again, it's an individual question, but it helped me really understand what I believe in, because in order to find your person, you have
Purpose.
in order to find your purpose, you have to question why you do this, why this. So what helped me is I became more open-minded with what I do and why I do it. For example, why do I even work out? I had to answer that question.
Yeah.
Then I had to answer.
Isn't it kind of uncomfortable
why.
answering that
It is
too?
very
It feels uncomfortable,
It's
right?
uncomfortable to figure out the true answer, not the answer you want to hear. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why do I go to school? Why this? Why that? And when I answered these questions, I actually figured out why I do most of my things, and I was able to realm everything
Form
together
yourself.
and form kind of a belief and kind of who I am, which kind of surrounds my beliefs.
How did you know those beliefs were right though for you when you figured it out? How do you know? Like what type of feeling did you?
What clicked?
How did you know though that was for you?
I can tell you how. I broke the machine.
Oh, I think you remember telling me this shit.
I broke the machine, and you know what they say: you become more powerful when you know your purpose. So
Yeah, I mean,
that was my answer.
what
He
you
even
did
asked
is
the
right.
personal trainer there if he could take the item that he broke.
I have the item
So-
in my room. I
Right,
know
so
why
he,
it
so he can have a
He
save.
has like a
Oh my
trophy.
God.
Yeah.
Wait,
Right.
which machine
I'll
did you
never
break?
know.
I didn't break the machine. I broke I don't even know.
Was
what
it the
fuck it's
handle,
called.
right?
The
It was the handle to pull it.
handle. Like when you use handles for chest,
Yeah.
thighs, and shit
Yeah.
like that.
You were
I
using
literally
it.
pulled,
And
and
it
it
was because
fucking
he was
snapped.
old.
Flexing, breaking a machine, the gym's equipment is crazy.
I
No,
flex,
it was
I
because it was
flex
old.
having a
Yeah,
the item was
backstory.
old.
Yeah,
I
probably,
like the
probably.
ideas of having a story behind items. For
Okay.
example, I don't wear jewelry just for jewelry. I like to have a story behind
Yeah.
it.
So what's the story
So-
behind that? No, I don't give a fuck. No, listen.
But
Stop.
you did a really good job explaining like how to like what you just said. Like, doesn't it just feel right finding out like when you know something about yourself or a belief, it just feels right knowing
You
it. And that's,
transform. I do believe
it's
you
like
transform.
yeah, you kind of
become
enlighten yourself when
a
when something
more
clicks.
introspective man, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. You form like your own self, and you
Yes.
become more comfortable with yourself. Therefore, you can achieve things.
I don't have to act a certain way anymore. I
Yeah,
know
you-
who I am, or at least I'm trying to. I know more about myself to the manner of I'm gonna just be me
See,
because I know who I
Yeah.
want to be.
I always like I had such a big problem like because finding myself was such a struggle and so hard because I had so much input. This guy was saying this guy was saying this. Everyone's saying different things. So like, who do I believe? What truth do I like? What belief should I really try to do? And then I actually cut all that out the way. And I sat down with myself. I journaled. I wrote everything that I thought, and I kept asking myself why, and it was uncomfortable, and I felt anxiety writing all that shit. But once it was over, I felt so much better because then I was so much comfortable with myself, and something like I said, like it feels good. Like you feel more powerful. You feel enlightened when you finally when those beliefs that are for you, for your soul, for your guy that was put on the earth, like it feels good. It feels right. It feels authentic.
I love that. That was well
Yeah,
put. Well
that was
said.
great.
Well
But one thing I do want to say is I don't necessarily agree with the whole like isolation and have you just be in a room with you and your thoughts. I love the whole question, everything. But the reason why that's good for you guys is because you guys are naturally optimistic thinkers, which is what allows you to form those healthy and good for you thoughts, right? But what about a negative thinker who is gonna like? Could
You don't
imagine
think I
putting-
think negative though? Like you
Well,
automatically
you,
thought.
you naturally are a positive thinker, and I know you, so I can confidently say that. But what about if someone in the audience, and let's say they're a negative thinker, how would that go for them if you just put them in an isolated room where they just have their thoughts and no one else? It's obviously going to go wrong. And the problem with that is it's because they're already negative of the bat.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
you
yeah,
don't think if you put
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, actually finish.
you don't think if you put a negative thinker in the room by themselves with someone who's already thinking bad about bad things, and you put them in an
Like what
isolated
kind of example?
room,
Like suicidal thoughts?
No, I know what you're
Any
saying.
type of thing,
No,
any-
because
yeah.
I had this manner of overthinking.
Mhm.
Overthinkers.
And what
I
happens
think
when you put that
eventually.
person in a room?
You're right. One day, yes. I think eventually, if you spend enough time in isolation, I'm sure you would understand and form a different perspective. Again, I don't have the evidence to prove that. That's just, I think, to me, is self-explanatory in a sense. But it does fluctuate on everyone.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just
But
as
my
you're
answer-
I want to
isolating
hear your
yourself.
answer because you deemed that question. Let's hear it.
My answer isn't necessarily that it's wrong. Maybe it could work for whoever, but I would value actually going out there more, getting outside, and kind of putting myself in.
You get distracted by things.
No, not necessarily.
Kind of,
well,
kind of.
maybe. Actually, I guess so, technically. Because those distractions can
It's
end
not
up
a bad
becoming
thing,
positive.
right,
Yeah. But, like, environment where I'm being dealt with social interaction so I can understand other people, so I can see how they think and how they form their own beliefs. And maybe when I meet a positive thinker, I can evaluate what they do and learn from them. I don't, like, or even in nature, like, go outside and just, like have this shit that's gonna put yourself in places and areas that are good for you. It's the same thing, like how if a girl fucking bare skin showing and has all this thing and she goes into a fucking Chicago, she pulls up to O Block it's not going to go good for you. You don't want to put yourself in those types of situations. And that's just like, that's unrelated. I'm not saying anything about that. No, avoid all the fucking politics behind that. But the point is, put yourself in these good situations that are going to benefit you.
What I believe is that it is just as important to put yourself with yourself, like alone in a room and just think about things, and also get yourself out and distract yourself.
Yeah.
So like talk to people about it. I feel like those are the both important stuff. So you shouldn't really, not even a positive thinker should even sit home and just think about himself. He should also go out and ask people for their opinion too. So that way he kind of like chooses like what's best for him. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're either a negative or positive thinker, I feel like it's both important to be with yourself and also go out and distract yourself.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think being with yourself in that isolation is what can help you grow to being a positive thinker. Or that's how you can kind of tell. Like if you can sit alone in a dark room and be happy with your thoughts, congratulations. That's you found peace within
But I don't
yourself.
think that's gonna happen though. I feel like you need to go out and also distract yourself, ask other people questions too. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
exactly.
Like, I
I
don't
think
you
so
can
too.
only find one,
Exactly.
yeah.
What are you saying?
I wanted to give you your applause. This is the first time I think on a podcast I want to give you your applause.
I don't think
it's
you're right
worth
though,
it.
by the way.
No, what I do think though is he did bring a different perspective. We were only talking in the matter of a positive thinker. So I want to congratulate you with a round of applause on putting.
Shut your bitch ass up.
No,
No, what the fuck is this? What the fuck
Okay,
is
take a
this?
compliment. It's
Bro,
crazy.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
No, what the fuck is that? You can't take compliments, bro.
When do I compliment you? Take it and golf it up. All
It's
right.
actually crazy, bro.
Dude,
Dude,
when a
Off
person,
your ass,
look, when a
Sash,
person,
I don't wanna hear it.
when a person doesn't compliment you often, but he does it once in a while, that's when you know it's a true compliment. So take it as a good thing.
Fuck no.
From Josh.
I'm questioning everything, guys.
Hold on,
Fuck
hold on.
that.
You're getting jumped after this part. I don't give a fuck.
We have a
Actually,
rebuttal. I'm
He's
listening.
actually being rude, bro. He's getting jumped.
Mike
Listen,
down.
I'm sorry.
Wait, Winston Churchill said, when you feel like you're going through hell, keep going. So if you're sitting in that room with those negative thoughts probably are not who you truly are. They're from the things that you consume. So that's what I'm saying. Stop being distracted by the things around you to make you feel good from actually finding out the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, don't stop trying to distract yourself from what you're trying to solve, because it's supposed to be hard to figure this out. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's why, like, dude, like, I've had nights where, like, I was trying to sleep, but I was trying to figure it out, and, like, I would wake up, like, 2 hours later, I had to go on my computer and write what I was feeling down, because I had to figure it out. Like, I couldn't, like, you know what I mean? I had to figure it out. So it's like, you assume that I was positive the whole way. That's not true. You're not going to be positive the whole time. It's kind of hard to. No one can be positive all their life, you know what I mean? But it's like, the reason that person was negative is because they kept getting distracted, and what they were consuming was negative, and their environment was negative. There's so many factors that makes that person negative. Like, when you find your true self, you're not negative. You're not negative.
That's
what I-
I'm sorry, but real quick, what I think you're missing is there's a reason why I heavily emphasize going out in places that will benefit you and help you grow. And even like fucking natural parks, going to lakes, your public or your
anything
your,
that gives
a
you
river,
peace.
yeah, like small shit like that. Like, what you're thinking of those distractions and the bad things. But when I said that, I was thinking of going to places where you can literally, like, you learn.
What are you talking about? I thought you were talking about going with people, talking with people.
Yeah, and people too. But obviously, that putting yourself in places with benefit isn't necessarily going to be you going and hanging out with someone that's going to hand you the vape or put you over, bring you to the strip club, or I don't know, maybe bring you to Chicago, the O Block, like I mentioned earlier. It's the natural places that are there to help you. And that's what's going to transition a negative thinker to a positive thinker in my eyes.
I have a great question for Civil. Are you guys? Do you want to rebuttal him before? I kind of want to.
No, that's fine.
Well, I'm going to ask you. I don't know why you. I just want to ask you. Do you guys? I'll ask him first. Do you believe that someone can just simply be a negative thinker, and that can't change? Everyone can change, but do you think people are more inclined to be negative than positive, and that's just how they are? Like how their brain is.
Look, like you said in the beginning.
Environment, that's what I would say.
Yeah, like we said in the beginning of the episode.
No, but I know.
Actually,
let me
before
use a great
I
example. Yeah.
the camera, I need
There's
to
somebody
restart.
in my class that just says he
Wait,
just
need to
thinks.
restart.
I know.
Hold on.
This is.
Hold this
There's
up.
somebody in my class that just thinks negatively. He says he only thinks
Right,
of the
and
worst
I think
case
the answer
scenario.
is that what Mike
Watch
said,
the
they
time.
haven't found themselves. See, that's the thing. When people think negative, and when
You
someone
think if they found themselves, they would become positive?
exactly because
Yes.
this is what I think. I think I might put in a
Yes,
very
bro.
good words. Right? Ready? Hear this out. So someone's sitting in class and they're always negative. They're always negative. Somebody always tells them, "You're fucking negative. Stop being negative." He's still negative. Just who he is, right? If he hears this example of Mike said, or what we said, right? Isolating yourself, just being with yourself all the time, and you keep it negative. People are not going to feel comfortable. Now, as soon as someone doesn't feel comfortable, what do? Get out of that uncomfortable situation because they can't deal with it. Once someone understands that this uncomfortable situation brings them to an answer or brings them to a success they're truly trying to find or get to, they're all going to want to. But that's the thing with society nowadays. They can't take the little heat. Like they're not being competitive because they can't take the loss. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to keep losing. They don't want to lose 100 times and win once, right? They want to always be the winner. So what they do is they don't compete. They don't They don't compete. You know what I mean?
Dude,
with other
that
people.
is the true definition of a fucking.
So it's like those people that are negative. I think the answer to that would be they haven't found themselves. That's why they don't know that they can actually be positive. Because every time they're being negative, what people do is they just call them out for it instead of actually helping them out, telling them, "Yo, why are you being negative?" Nobody asks why you being negative. Everybody says, "You're fucking negative. Get the fuck out here," or "Get the fuck out of here," or whatever. They never try to help someone because that's not what the society's like about. I don't know what it is. It's like that people need to start helping people out. You know, that's not what they do. That's why they don't find themselves, and that's why they keep negative. That's why what? Yeah, of course. When someone is, when I can tell that you can easily tell when someone's not being their true self. You can tell. I mean, even the question you asked.
What somebody
right?
else's true self is.
You feel it.
This is how I personally tell.
Okay.
When I ask somebody a question, like a deep question, why, or I keep questioning, why do you think this is the way, or
Why
how do you
like
think?
men?
What?
Why do you like men?
Wait, no, stop.
Dude.
This is actually serious. If you actually want me to answer, I'll answer. If you're not gonna let me, I'm not gonna answer. Sorry. Okay, look. So if they're gonna keep saying, you ask them a question and the answer is most of the questions is I don't know. That means that they don't know. I mean, obviously they don't know what they're saying, that's because the influence is on. They have influence of other people. If someone else says hoes are good and going out in clubs is good, that's what they're gonna believe. Now, if somebody tells them no, this is bad, they're gonna be like, well, I don't know why it's bad. I just heard from someone. I saw that someone was doing this, so I'm doing the same way. That's because they don't really want to do things their own way. They don't want to experience it by themselves. They want to copy what other people are doing. That's what the Matrix and the whole fucking being programmed is. That's the problem of it. They don't want to experience it by themselves.
Let me go off of that real quick because I'll give you an explanation because I've literally experienced becoming more of a positive person, finding myself. Like, I'm gonna sound kind of crazy though, okay? So
You saw yourself?
shut the fuck up, right?
Go for it,
So-
Mike.
So I believe in the universe, right? I'm gonna get real spiritual here, right? The universe, right? I've had like realizations with the universe, and I felt the universe like peering, like gazing down upon me. I might sound fucking crazy, right?
You don't.
I don't sound crazy, but this was like in my attempt to find myself and take away all like the inputs. I read this one book. It's called the Man Who Tapped Into the Secrets of the Universe. It's this like 60-page. It's like a 30-page book. It's like thin as hell. I've read it, and as I was reading it, I felt the presence of the fucking universe as it was like gazing down upon me. And with that, I know what that type of feeling feels like. And then once that kind of drifted away, and so once I actually found myself, once I was comfortable with myself, it felt like the universe was just giving me unlimited energy so I can give to everyone else. Like once you find yourself, it's not even about you anymore. Once you find yourself, it's not about you, it's about you giving to everyone else.
So here's the thing. The idea that I got when you were saying if a person that is negative, is not motivated, is in a dark place, what do they have to do? Do they have to lock themselves in a room and stuff? Yes, sometimes they have to. Sometimes you have to go through hell to reach to heaven, right? That's just, it's got to happen. You got to know the sacrifice to the winning price. You know what I mean? You got to sacrifice those hard times, the times that you don't want to put yourself in a position, but you have to. You know you got to have to. So when a person is negative and knows that they're in a dark place, well, they got to go through the difficulty to get to a good place. You know what I mean? Everybody has to do that.
If
But you know that,
yeah.
you have to reach your full potential, be successful, whatever. You know it's not an easy path, but guess what? You know the price of being successful. So you're going to go through the hell with a smile on your face because you know that after hell comes heaven. So I think a person that is in a dark place, and no matter how much they don't want to be in that dark room or by themselves, they have to do it.
Great way to say it.
what it comes down to,
it's a good
really.
Yeah.
point. I think it fluctuates between the person.
But I did
'cause
understand what you said, though. I did understand what you said.
The issue with that, my issue with that is obviously it will depend on the person. But if the negative thinker starts asking themselves questions like, what is the point of me thinking so negatively? I need to improve on this. Then that kind of sounds like they're thinking positively rather than negatively.
Yeah, but Sasha, you have to understand, some people are negative not because they are just put in this negative environment. They consume negativity.
Mhm.
They are almost addicted to negativity, and this is scientific too. People that are negative are literally addicted to negativity. When a person is negative, all they want is negativity, so they go in places and attract negativity. They connect to people that are negative. It's just how the energy works, the frequency.
Yeah.
We all like vibrate on a frequency, right? So if you're vibrating on a certain frequency and I match your frequency, boom, we connect. You know what I mean? We click. You know when you click to a person? Because you vibrate on the same frequency. This is a scientific thing. We all have a vibration because the world has vibration. You know what I mean? So, like, when you also said, if you like being alone, being by yourself, being in the dark room, whatever, let's be honest, nobody really likes that.
Why does that have to
They
be
just
dark?
know that they have
Doesn't
to
have
do
to be
that.
dark.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Why does it always have to be dark? But sometimes it has to be dark. So I think nobody really enjoys being in dark and being in those uncomfortable moments. It's just that they know that it's good. Therefore, they just meet it with a smile on their face and positivity rather than negativity. Because going into a negative place with negativity, what is that going to give you? But going to a negative place with positive thinking, that's going to give you a lot more.
Exactly, but how does that rebuttal what I said?
Well, you said about if a person is in a dark place. Well, I'm going to start with how you brought up the conversation.
Yeah.
You said, what do you say to a person that is in a negative place? How do you tell them to kind of like lock themselves alone and be with themselves when they're already having this negative thoughts and stuff? Well, sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do because you know that's the way.
It's kind of like the price you have to pay.
But
in order to get
understanding that
somewhere.
you have to do what you don't want to do to improve yourself, that's why you would do it, is positively thinking. That's not negatively thinking. Or if you're a negative thinker, isn't going to think about how they can improve themselves. That's called positive thinking.
But you get influence for somewhere, right? When you're a negative thinker, you get an influence of how to be more of a positive thinking, how to get over negative thinking. Everybody knows that. It's about who is strong enough to overcome that barrier of going through the difficulty to become a more positive thinker.
And that would be
And
a
the
positive
person that
thinker.
the
but
person
that's
that
not the
fails,
negative thinker.
but the person that fails to be that, to becoming the positive thinker, is the one that falls down and stays in negative thinking.
Exactly, that's my point too.
Yeah.
I think you just misunderstood what I said. But it doesn't matter.
I don't think I misunderstood what you said.
It doesn't matter.
I say we transition to what beliefs we should form, and I know this is a very opinionated topic, but I think there are some set opinions that everyone should have. I think you guys can disagree with me on that, and I'm asking you guys, what do you think those are that everyone should believe in this matter?
Well, that's kind of like
Because
broad, isn't it?
thing.
That you should think
Yeah.
positively.
I actually
think I
wrote
should
them
add-
down.
Okay.
Things
yeah.
you're better off to believe. This is my way of thinking. Positive thinking is one, God, religion, spirituality, basic purpose that we all share, and our mutual duty on earth as humans. You can do anything you desire as long as you truly want it in your heart and when you truly act it out. And I want to kind of like touch up on that too, because a lot of the times people are going to say they want it, but they don't act out as if they want it. You know what I mean? You're going to say, okay, I want to be a better person. I want to have this. I want to have that. But are you trying to get that thing? If you're not trying to,
Like, why do they
do
want to do
something.
that in the
Yeah,
first
exactly.
place? They don't ask themselves those
yeah,
questions.
if your thought isn't strong enough to have this burning desire to take action, you don't really want it. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you have these thoughts of wanting something, you really have to ask yourself, is it something you really want, or is it just a thought because you like the results rather than the actual thing that you're going to be doing on the journey?
Yeah.
So, I have start now. There's no perfect day, time. what you put in is what you get out. Treat others the way you want others to treat you. Depression isn't real. In the long term, at least, because everybody has
It's not
some
real,
kind of
bro.
sadness
All the
they go
fucking haters
through.
that can say it's literally real is they're just fucking, dude. Why are you defending
just
something that
programmed
makes
to
you weak?
believe it.
Why are you defending something that makes you actually weak?
Yeah,
It's crazy to me.
but it's okay to go through some kind of sadness or something.
It's okay to
For a
feel
period of
depressed,
time.
But putting that title
That's what I'm
depression,
saying,
bro,
yeah,
it's
long
not
term,
even- that
never.
title doesn't even
Let that
exist,
consume
bro.
you, never. And then last one, control what you can, otherwise it controls you. So this is the kind of things that I personally believe that would be better off for me to live by. So those are some of the things that I wrote.
You know what?
down.
I really feel like the whole thing with God, like, I know like it's really 50-50, or I don't know what the percentage is, but like believing in God makes me a better person. That's why I believe in it. And I think it's like where we're trying to get at is like with beliefs, we pick beliefs based off how they benefit us and how they feel with our character. So me believing in God, knowing that He's watching me all the time, knowing that okay, He expects me to make the right decisions. I'm gonna make the right decisions because I believe that He watches everything I do. So that benefits me. That makes me a better person. That's why I believe in that.
I think another one that everyone should forge. I'm sorry to if someone wants to go on
No, go
the
ahead.
God thing, but everything happens for a reason. To me, is one of those set in stone that
Yeah.
people should believe.
Yeah.
Simply because
Is that fate,
if you believe, yeah, fate.
Is it fate?
If you believe in fate,
Destiny?
it will help you manage the difficult situations and the positive. If you think you got your job fired because of fate, you'll think that something better is aligned for you. Therefore, you will not be as upset. Simple as that. It's a matter, and I kind of portrayed this in the previous episode, but I really want to dive into it. Our beliefs are simply to make us better people.
Yeah.
And it helps us justify our actions in becoming a more positive person. Or at least that's what we try to. That fate idea is simply, I am better off if I believe in it. It will help me in the long term. That's it. That's it. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to tell you it's not, you shouldn't believe in it. I'm just going to tell you believing in it will help you. Therefore, you should.
I really like that because like you're stating your conviction. Like you know when you know something and you feel something is totally right, you'll kind of like nothing else will tell you otherwise, right? That's conviction right there. That's knowing something. That's knowing that that belief is for you. That creates your character. I love that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you wanted to say something before I interrupted.
No.
Did you want to say something?
I mean, I
another
think
belief?
This is
There's
what we were
definitely-
trying to.
It's
This
just
is what we were
self-explanatory
trying to
what
like
you
get
said.
to.
Makes
Like
sense. Yeah, yeah.
whatever our beliefs are, we pick them because they benefit us.
Yeah.
They
I think-
work for us.
Yeah, I think if you're going to develop some kind of belief, at least develop a belief that you're going to be successful from and positive, and you know that you're going to
Happy.
shape your life into a better place.
Another, I don't know if this is necessarily a belief, but I feel like it's more of a perspective, but I think it correlates, is something you told me to share before.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're not going to be mad at a situation in 20 years, why be mad at it now? And it's simply this matter of, oh my God, my mom said something mean to me. Okay. Are you going to be upset about it in 20 years? No. So why be upset at it now? And I really wish I could kind of delve into more of what that means. I can't really form.
It's like get over it fast before it starts bringing you into more negative thoughts. Because the longer you stay mad and the longer you stay in those negative thoughts, the more it's gonna kind of like I'm gonna put it in this word. It's like more it's gonna eat you.
Just let it
Like,
go.
you know, like
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, you up.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why do it? I think a lot of my beliefs are forged on why not to feel. Like you said, you're typically not an angry person. I don't think any of us are an angry person, not because we are not angry people. It's because our beliefs have been formed to the idea of preventing anger. I'm a full-hearted believer in that.
Listen, I'll be angry for 1 second,
No, of course, but then you just tell you it's not worth it.
but then it's like it's
It
not.
is
It's,
what it is.
bro, I don't
Another
care,
one. It
bro.
is what it is.
God loves
Oh,
me.
that's a
You
great
guys
one.
love me. Life's good, man. Life's good.
It is what it
I don't
is.
fucking love you.
Yeah, you do.
You said
Another
you guys
another one
love
I
me?
have. I'm sorry, I keep going off, but how do I phrase it? We are all gonna die one day. And if we're all gonna die one day, why does your opinion on me matter? Because you're just gonna die.
Well, why do they make
So
those
why
opinions
is
in the
that?
first place? Because they feel like they can judge people because they don't judge themselves.
So
Snap.
you gotta judge
Whoa.
somebody, right? Drop
Yeah.
the mic.
Drop it.
Who are you to judge someone when you don't even judge yourself? Go sit in a room by yourself. Find your purpose.
And when
Dude,
you don't
everyone-
fully know yourself and you go and judge somebody else, it's like you don't even know yourself. How are you gonna tell somebody who they are? You know what I mean?
We just let Mishka go, and he couldn't stay there. You have
But
to be
as
alone,
long as,
Mishka.
but as long as
There's
there's good
teaching that.
intentions to even judging somebody and going up to them and saying, "Hey, I think what you did was wrong there," or "I think you're wrong in the situation," with good intentions, actually trying to help them and come out as the person that really wants good for that person, rather than just to make them feel like I'm right and you're wrong, or like make them feel like they're wrong. Now that's not a good way to go. But if your intention is pure, even if it comes out harsh, I think at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
I have this one thing. It's like be strict with yourself, but be patient with others.
Yeah.
As in, like, because you can't understand people and why they do things at like your type of level that you understand yourself. So it's like be patient, be compassionate with them, try to understand them, and don't just snap at them when they don't agree with you or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they even snap at you. Like be strict with yourself, but be patient with people. I truly believe that, because you have to learn that, like, to be people. A lot of people don't understand themselves nowadays. Like I believe that as well. Like a lot of people are lost, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's why you really have to be even more patient with people nowadays, because they're just running amok, like just in the video game, doing nothing, bro. Like they're in the.
What I also believe is in being real with everybody,
Mhm.
whether it's like you said, whether it's hard for them to take or it's easy for them to take. Because I've noticed one thing, that every time I tell someone that I don't even know, for example, I don't even know the person, I start talking to them, I get to know them. The moment that I try to be nice to them or try to tell them some things that so they don't feel uncomfortable, I mean, it's not really like a lie, but it's also not the truth, you know what I mean? They still don't appreciate it. You telling them the reality and your true self and what you actually believe is something they also don't appreciate. So either way, you're not really like pleasing them in any way, whether you're lying to them or being real. But at least you're pleasing yourself in a way of being real and not lying to them. At least you knowing to yourself that you did the right thing because that's what you believe. You're basically not hiding yourself because you're not embarrassed of what you believe.
Yeah.
That's what people. What?
I have a personal question for
Right.
you.
Yeah,
Would
of
you
course.
tell someone that smells that
What?
they smell?
You should.
Actually, yes, and that happened last week. Actually, like, yeah, I'm
Bro, from the receipts.
That's
I
credibility.
feel like-
pull him out.
I feel like, see, it was hard, but I did it because I know that if I don't tell him
That's
that,
respect. That's
What?
respect.
well, because here's the thing, if I don't tell him that, right, other people are gonna make fun of him, which they are. They don't want to. A lot of people didn't want to tell him. They were coming up to
It's
me
a
telling
hard
me,
thing.
"Yo, can you go tell him that he smells, or can you go tell him that he did this, and can you, like, bro, just go up to him and tell him." So that way, instead of like having other people, because not a lot of people are gonna go and actually tell him to fix things and do the right way, because maybe he doesn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Or maybe he doesn't sense it, or whatever. Maybe he just needs help. So that way, that's how I saw. I mean, it was hard because I didn't want it to come out one of those like assholes that just
How'd you approach it?
Yeah, what did you say?
Well, the first thing I asked him, okay, this is from Judah. Okay, he apparently he wasn't washing his gi, right?
Yeah.
Apparently he wasn't washing his gi. He when I asked, first thing I asked him was like, how often do you wash your gi, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and that's a lot. You should be washing it every week before you put it on again for the next week, right?
Yeah.
Then what I told him is this: told him wash it every week, because I told him right here we all train and we don't want to smell that it smells. We don't want to smell.
You're disgusting.
No, I didn't tell him like that. I told him we don't want to feel the bad smell that that Guy has.
Yeah.
The uniform, because it's not comfortable for us to smell that.
Yeah.
And I told them that you have to take the full on responsibility for you to come clean, and that's one of the part of the discipline with, washing your clothes and not being stinky, I guess. But
Yeah.
You really have to put yourself in that uncomfortable situation.
yeah, you gotta be real, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be
That-
But it's like when I say like,
that's just the only, at least for me, that's the only optimal way, because I've tried being nice, I've tried being a little fake, but it doesn't work. So at least it just feels better that I'm sharing my.
The right thing.
I was talking more about you like smelling the ghee, because you said it was uncomfortable.
Well, actually, here's
Here's
the thing though. I actually didn't like that smell. Didn't bother me from him. It was the other people that were coming up to me and telling me, "Yo, can you tell him that?" So I realized one thing, that those fuckers didn't want it to help him. So I did the job for them, and I did the right thing. Exactly. They're coming up to me complaining like little girls. Can you go tell him? Well, yes. Even if he comes out bad, at least you're going up to him and being your real self and actually pointing out his fucking flaws, just like how he would want you to be the better version of you. I don't know.
When I said be patient with people, did you mean like be fake? Because that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? Like when I say like if Sasha snaps at me, I'm like, I'm not gonna be mad at him because he probably has some shit going on. Like I'm not like trying to understand what he's going through. Like that guy, like you could have you were kind of patient with him when like you were asking him. You weren't just straight up like you smell like shit. No, you were like.
At first, I asked him questions. How often
that's
does
question.
whatever,
That's like you're
whatever.
being patient. That's like an example of being patient with someone. You don't want to just fucking tell them that they're a piece of shit and they should fucking get their life together. That's not what you're supposed to tell someone. You're supposed to ask them what's going on, what like how like hey man like I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Like or like. If there's a problem, like I can help you, bro. Like you try to be like authentic like that.
Yeah, what I mean by that, like truth and harsh realities, isn't the words that has to be coming out or you fucking stink. What I mean by that is showing them the truth. Like I mean, because the reason why I try to not, the thing you ask me is, are you being fake? I think in my opinion it's no. Because
I don't think you're.
That's the mentality of human being. It's the emotions that they read on your face, and that's how they react. So if you're telling them the nice things with like a mean face, they're probably gonna still take it offensively because it's like the face they look. It's like the emotions they look at rather than what's really coming out of your mouth. So it's like you really have to try to be balanced with what's it called
the way you
positive
talk
words, I
and
guess. Yeah.
the
Just so that way
emotions you
they
show.
understand you better.
Yeah.
Screaming and like yelling at them and cursing them out won't help them either way, and they won't understand it. So the whole point for you, if you're going up to someone to really make them understand, might as well actually make them understand, not just go there and be like, oh, I tried, but you didn't.
I kind of want to back what you did.
Yeah,
I have a teacher that I actually really like, and he basically said, as a leader, the people that you are leading, their emotions are not your problem. Their problems are your problems. So by you telling them, by him smelling is also your problem as a leader. I don't know if you are the leader of the judo group, but that is a responsibility of yours, is helping with other people's problems. Do or agree with that.
I love the way your teacher said that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, I don't care if you're upset. I care if you have a real problem or not.
What does he teach? The teacher.
Business management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Love him. All right, I think we should.
Yeah,
Are
so
we
let's wrap it up.
wrapping up? Yeah.
Yep. Guess it's time for the quote of the day, Fricker. Come on.
I'm reading it. Your beliefs don't make you a better person. Your behavior does. I mean, that's just true. Like, no one like how you think. Like, yeah, that helps, but how you act is totally different. That really shows people who you are. That's what that quote really means. Like, you could think all the good things in your head you want, but for example, if you don't like be positive towards people or what you did or what you like said about the leader thing, like if you don't do those things to kind of interpret how you think and how you feel.
Actions speak louder than words.
I should speak louder than words. Yeah.
No, wait,
I don't
your
fuck with that
beliefs.
quote, bro.
Yeah, I don't
fuck with
really
that
either.
quote, bro.
Why?
Don't your beliefs form your behavior?
No one sees your beliefs in your head, bro. People see that.
They see your behavior,
they see
but
your
what's
behavior.
forming the behavior? Your beliefs.
Yeah, but the beliefs. Yeah, the beliefs.
Tell me if I'm not missing
I think
this,
this
right?
is the
This is saying
point of view of someone seeing
it doesn't
you.
make you a better person, but that's only thinking of it as a level of others, of how they deem you as a better person. But for you to personally become a better person, your beliefs make you a better person, not your behavior.
Okay, what does it mean to be a better person?
It does. No.
That's
Both do.
wrong.
Both do. But I definitely
Yeah.
would argue that beliefs make you a better person individually.
Like towards
For
yourself, that you
towards
think for yourself.
yeah. Maybe if he's talking about the perspective of only how others perpetrate you, that makes total sense. But because your behavior is how you will deem me. My behavior.
Sometimes quotes are not literally read
Yeah, I'm
straight.
sorry.
It's
You're right,
you
you're
have
right.
to critically think.
Like
The quote saying your belief doesn't well, it says beliefs
don't make you a better
your
person.
beliefs don't make you a better person. Your behavior does. So you saying you believe something doesn't make you a better person. But how do you show what you believe is the fact
That's
that
what I'm trying to say.
shows
How you
what you
interpret that
believe.
thought to other people is what makes you a better person.
For them.
Yeah, I
not
get
you.
that too.
Yeah, but this
I'm not-
quote is same way as like what I said. Actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm
You
not
can't
gonna-
deny that.
Yeah, matter of fact.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
and then the
Okay,
shouldn't
facts.
waste too much
Yeah.
time on it.
Shout outs.
Shout out.
Wait, Josh, you have to
Should
read
I-
this.
I have to read it? Alright. You want to be entertained? Nobody. You're nothing. Come up with your own views on life.
At Yon Jates on YouTube.
I just
What's
want
up,
to
yo-
say thank you.
James.
Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the view.
Wait, you didn't say it right. You want to be entertained? Nobody. You're nothing. Come up with your own views on life.
Thank you for enjoying the podcast so much. We appreciate that you're such a great viewer.
So it turns out that if you believe something that resembles someone else, that means you are that guy. So you guys know. That's,
So that we
that's how
know.
it works, right?
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Apparently, I'm Andrew Tate because I believe something in what he does.
Isn't that all you want?
so what we want to tell him
Isn't that what
here
you
is
want,
that
Josh?
because
What we
we
wanna tell him?
we just because we agree with him doesn't mean that we're one of him or like we're him. I mean, it's like we're all our own individuals. Just that sometimes what I believe, he shares the same belief. Doesn't mean it's like that. It's a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's really not a bad thing. It's
The
a great
message
thing, actually.
is make your own belief. Doesn't matter if someone thinks you're being somebody else. I mean, if what they said is right to you, it's right to you.
Yeah, I don't really want to make fun of this comment, but like how I just said that, whatever. But like, it's just this comment is just like straight up negative.
Yeah, it's cool. That's life. I mean, that's social media. Wrap it up.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. I think it was a great episode. Remember to like, subscribe, share for more, tell your friends about it, whatever it is, guys. With that, think big,
Grow
big.
Peace.
Grow big.